Hello, everybody. Episode number 7. Welcome to the Bark Side. My name is Wilson.
Yay! I'm Tara.
Thanks for tuning in. The last two episodes have been a little heavy. I do have to say, the statement here, this is an independent program, nothing to do with any local business. No, I'm kidding. We don't have to do that. But we did get some pretty good comments. They're talking food and all like that. We're gonna kind of get back to the what we were doing previously. A little fun, a little good stuff, and
Yeah.
probably besides food, the thing that people I think spend the most time shopping for their dogs, the toys. All right. So we're
No
going to
more
get into
toys.
all of that here in just a little bit. But we got a good reaction from the food stuff. I know that was kind of crazy and everything. How was your week there, young lady? How's everything over at the shop? You doing okay?
Yeah, everything's going well. No bad things, no bad, rebounds or anything from the last two episodes. Everything's going great.
I got a feeling with it getting a little bit warmer, that we're going to start hearing from some people with some of those dog allergies and some of that kind of
Oh
stuff. And just
yeah.
when the pollen hits me, I know it's hitting your dog
Oh
too. So
boy.
that'll be coming up soon, I am sure. But this
Absolutely.
time, and we're going to have a dog of the week right now. But I think we should just jump right in and start talking about toys before we show some of the pics right here. You got one of your people there that made some pics. We'll get into that here in just a little bit.
Yep.
Dog toys for you, like what are you looking for? What are you thinking here? What's your experience with toys for the dog?
Well, I mean, for myself, I have four small dogs, so they don't rip into things very often. I have one dog that doesn't even look at the toys. But when I do, they're very small. They have to be able to flip them up and not knock themselves out. So it's soft toys for me. Um, they don't do a lot of chewing on the toys to rip them up, so they get treats for that or like chew sticks. But soft little, tiny little toys.
So my George,
Squeakers are good, as you
oh okay,
know.
yeah,
Squeakers
you
are
guys,
good. They really like to hear the squeak. I don't,
you
but they do.
you guys have seen George. He's my little Schnauzer Terrier
Uh-huh.
crazy dog, and he will be completely chill and then just go crazy. His favorite toy I get from my friends over there at Subaru South Charlotte. It's a Subaru with a squeaky in there, and you know Subaru is the car company for dog owners.
Right.
Um, but it's got, I call them the guts, but it's got all the kind of the filling and stuff in there. And I love seeing him think because he'll find that one corner seam that might just be his spot, and he will chew it and gnaw on it and do it, and then get in there, and then all the stuffing goes everywhere as he kind of just dives in and throws it all over the place. Usually they last. We've had one last maybe half an hour, and then we've had another one since they've started kind of reinforcing them that's gone a maximum of 2 days. So that's been kind of fun. I'm excited to talk about some of the suggestions we have coming up here because I've gotten into some of the games, and I call them games, but some of the toys where they're supposed to think and they're almost like, can I call them? It's a puzzle, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so these are all going to be puzzle toys and things that keep their brains occupied. So, yeah, I mean, ripping up toys and all that's very fun. These are made for dogs that are too smart for their own good. And you know this dog by, you take them for a really long walk or a run and they come in and they're so like, "Hey, I still got energy. I still got a lot of thinking to do." Well, this will kind of help take care of that and take care of their mind. And actually it really strengthens their brain. So it's good. Gives you a
We're
little bit of time off too and.
But so before we get to that, some of our suggested toys for this week on the Bark side. Hello, we have a sponsor, right? Who are they?
Yeah, we're getting a sponsor. It's going to be Nutrisource. They are
And that
a very good food company that we promote in our store, and
and
we will have Brad
that's
on
that's coming up next month, right?
a couple weeks. Yep,
Okay,
I think
well,
we're going
good.
to start April
I,
Fools, and this isn't a joke, but we are going to start that April Fools, I believe.
oh, well, there.
Our
Well,
first sponsor. Yep.
that's gonna be fun. So we got that, but let's get into it. It's the Bark side this week. We are talking toys. Oh, wow! Look at all of
There it
these.
is.
Um,
Yeah. So we picked
okay.
a couple. We picked a couple, and there's so much more that we can talk about. But I like these. these are a good. I think these are good to start with.
Okay, so there is a lot here of different
Hmm.
levels right here. And big thanks to one of the people on your team, Kylie, helped us out with these, right?
Kylie picked these out for me, and yeah, she likes these toys a lot. So we thank her.
If you want to know anything more about this, just head into the store and maybe ask for Kylie. I call her Cool Kylie, and when you meet Kylie, you'll know why,
She
because
is cool.
she just looks cooler than I will ever
She's
look. I've
cooler than
tried.
me.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying,
You
you
know.
need to update. Okay, so there's one right there. I see kind of looking at the screen right here. Dog Smart there. That looks like kind
Yep.
of I've got something a little similar from that for looking like for just those are bones and they come up here. What are we looking at there?
Yeah, so this is the first, like a first intro to puzzles. This would be a stage one type puzzle. They go by stages, and stage 3 and 4 and 5, or just when they get real smart. But this is a stage one, and really all you have to do is lift up the bone, and you should have a treat or your favorite kibble or whatever you like, something that makes them happy underneath. And they're to figure out that they have to lift those up and pull them out to get to the treat.
So that's an intermediate. This would be kind of just for a dog that's starting off, or
This is for good puppies, for just beginner brain training. It's the best like starter puzzle for sure. And it'll fit most any treat in there too. It gives you a nice size space for a
I
good
like that.
treat.
And it doesn't look like
Yeah.
the bone, it doesn't look like they're very hard to kind of get up. And it looks like the bone is kind of that similar kind of plastic thing where the dog ain't probably going to chew on that. They're going to know there's
No, it's
relatively
hard for sure.
solid.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
harder
yeah.
plastic for sure.
So it's a pretty
Yep.
good one to get them started right there. And now this next one here, the Seek Treat, that looks similar, but a little bit more than what I've kind of, I got George one of the things that kind of spin around and he moves it and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
it took him about half an hour to figure it out. But this one
Yeah.
here, it looks a little more advanced.
Like I said, some of them will get a little bit more complicated, and this one gets a little bit more complicated too. It's really sturdy. That's the other good thing too. It's really sturdy. There's no parts extra that you can, lose or anything, and they shouldn't eat any of it. As far as they shouldn't break that apart. But it's definitely one of those things that spins around. They have to use their noses, and they just turn it around, to find
So
the
what is
treat.
that? That doesn't that look that from the picture here, it almost looks kind of like an almost a wood material, but I'm sure that's some kind of a composite.
Yeah,
Composite. You gotta love a box or something where it just asks the question right up here. How smart is your dog?
we're gonna find out, aren't we?
So, but no, that's actually one I may try and get because George figured out the one kind of like that I got, but it was only like one level. That right there, it looks like you could really hide some treats in there, and the dog would really kind of have to work at it a little bit. So, you know,
Yeah.
but how do you? So here's another question: when somebody comes into the shop, how do you ask that question? Do you say, "Well, how smart is your dog?" or do you say, "How smart is your dog?"
Yeah, you kind of have to ask a few questions to kind of figure out what your dog is going to like and how smart are we going to have to outsmart it.
And that one doesn't look too big either. It doesn't look like it takes up too much room.
No, it's not too big. I
That
think
might
it's
be
a
good.
nice size. It's nice enough size that any dog can do it. I think maybe my Axel, the 5 pound Chihuahua, may have a little bit of a problem. I think over that you're good, and
What
even a
is the
bigger
dog on
dog would
that?
be
Is that a
good.
Shar there? What is that dog? Is that a yeah?
That
Is
looks
that
like a
a
bull. That looks like a bulldog.
bulldog?
Yep.
Bulldog?
Hmm.
There ain't no bulldog doing that game. I'm just saying. No. Okay. This next one here, the carrot patch. What is that?
Yeah. So we have a whole line of Enjoy, and I really like their line. And we could talk about some other toys that they carry too, but they do make a lot of puzzle toys. These are soft toys, so it's easy on the gums, especially if you have a senior pet or a puppy.
Mm.
You put the treats underneath the carrot. You can place a treat inside the carrot. So there's two ways of winning and two ways of fun for the dogs. It also could be used as a slow feeder because the inserts are so large. So you could actually put food in the middle there, and they can slowly eat if you have a dog that likes to
And
eat fast and gulp
it's
all its food.
is that fabric there?
It is fabric.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
don't, that might be good for some dog. I don't think that lasts very long with my George. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Boop, boop, boop." Okay, I'm done.
Right. It's kind of like a snuffle mat. You ever see a snuffle mat? We have them in the store, and I didn't put any of those out because it's a different kind of
Yeah,
puzzle. But
right.
it's kind of like a little
Yeah.
mixture between.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Okay, now this one here, I don't know what in the world we're looking at here. This looks like from West Paw.
Right.
What is that?
So Westpaw makes a bunch of toys, and they're made from recycled materials, and they're guaranteed, which is really nice. They make toys that work with each other too. So a topple, for instance, has a smaller size, and that would go on top of that, and you could actually make it into a treat ball, which we'll talk about next. But you could also do a lot of things with the topples. And the one what you see in the front there, that's a stopper, a topple stopper. So you can actually put um, really anything your imagination could think of and freeze it in there. Put the stopple in the hole. You see that little hole for where the treats would fall out if you just used it as a
Yeah,
little, tipper. And
yeah.
you could freeze, you could make a yogurt peanut butter concoction, canned dog food. We carry bone broth that you could freeze. Um, Goodness, it could be a
Yeah.
lot of things you could do with that.
I hadn't
It
even
gives it,
thought about
yeah.
that.
I mean, it's really tough too. So I think this would give George a run for his money.
We went through one of those places where they give the dog a little treat or whatever, a little pup cup kind of thing.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
yeah, George was too excited. It did not go well. It did
Yeah.
not. The drive home, he was like, "Hey, you know what?" I was like, okay, that's it for the pup cups. We're not doing that anymore.
There you
Okay,
go.
now this next one right here, the
Yep.
ball. I have to say this quietly because George, he's sleeping in the next room. Okay.
Right.
We got him right before the pandemic hit. This I call it the giggle ball, but it wasn't anything with treats or anything, but it was like really, it
Mm-hmm.
was super hard and would roll around. And
Yep.
it seemed like a good idea at first. And it would just, and we had the hardwood floors and it seemed good. But then I realized he was trying to destroy the thing and then it had all the tooth marks on there. And I was like, I don't know if that's the best for his teeth. So,
Yeah.
but he loved
Loved it.
that thing and it was big.
Uh
He
huh.
couldn't pick it up. So it was, I felt like maybe it was doing a little bit of damage. So we had to, if you've ever had to take a toy away or hide a toy, and just get it out. Once you get it out of the house because I hid it on top of the fridge, and then one day, how he found it on top of the fridge, I don't know. So
You're very smart.
I'm not gonna say the giggle ball very loud, but this looks like something like that. But this is different. That looks kind of like a harder, but not a really hard kind of plastic thing.
So it's a hard plastic thing in the middle, but the outside is soft, and it's
Okay.
a maze inside there. So you drop the treat in, and the dog has to push it a certain way in order for that treat to come out. So it's extra hard. Yeah, so
Oh,
it's pretty cool. It rolls around, they can play with it. It's fun.
that's what we got
Fun to
now.
watch too.
I got him one of those little Nerf balls, but I had to cut some holes in it so the treats would
Right.
come out a little bit more. And then I could, but this looks like something where I could just use it right away.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Anytime you have to
Definitely.
take like surgically do something to one of your dog toys, it's kind of like, I had to MacGyver the thing, but that may not
No,
be,
yeah.
not really
That's
not
not
the
good money
best
spent,
plan.
is it? Yeah.
No, it's not.
Not good money
Okay.
spent.
So that's pretty good. But and the maze, that looks like that would be that's the other thing too. Because George now, with some of the like that thing where I kind of had to MacGyver it a little bit, he will sit there and if it's too hard, he actually looks at me and sighs, and he'll look at me, he'll go, "Mm," which I
I
like
bet he
because
does.
I want him to be a little bit busy with it, but you don't want him to get too frustrated.
Sure.
So but it's kind of tough, and that's the other thing is too, like maybe not with some of your dogs. My dog is a great actor. So sometimes I'm like, okay, are you just pretending now so that I will get you the treat out, or are you really having a tough time? It's a whole adventure with my
Uh-huh.
dog.
Yeah, I bet. That's why
One time
dogs
on
are fun.
one time on the TV show, he started limping like halfway through the show. And
Yep.
I'm on TV and I got my dog and he's kind of and we're staying, he would come with me all the time, but like people and he was kind of doing this like little thing with his leg. And obviously I lost my mind and freaked out. I
Sure.
wrapped up the show early and I immediately take him to the vet because we walked up and he was definitely favoring a leg. I am not lying to you. We get to the vet's office. I put him out. It's like, why don't you try and pee before we go in? And he's walking around like, oh, we're at the vet. This is an adventure. No limp,
Always
nothing
fun.
whatsoever.
Right.
Took him in there. The vet looked at him and he goes, "You got played, man. There's nothing wrong with this dog. There's no." I'm like, and the winner of the
Yep,
Oscar goes to my dog George.
George.
Anyway, so these toys, what I really like here is a selection. A big thanks to Kylie for helping us out with this. There's lots of different kind of skill levels. Is that the right way to say it here for your dog?
Yeah, uh-huh. We have everything in the store. I mean, so we can show you all the toys. I mean, we have so many. But again, these are just little samples of the popular ones that people like.
Now we are over there at Pet in the City, obviously dog friendly, bringing in the animals and all that kind of stuff. But trying out the toys in the store gets a little weird sometimes. So we gotta have to use some common sense with that, right?
Yeah, yeah, and we have plenty of space. I mean, so
Don't
we
be
allow everybody to
don't be
smell everything and talk about everything and let the
but
dogs decide too.
but don't tear it up in the store and then be like, oh, he doesn't like it.
Yeah,
If he
yeah.
tears it up, you're buying it,
Well,
right?
again, some of these companies do guarantee their toys. Like Westpaw's one of those. So it would be, if they tore it up in the store, we would get the money back. So
Okay, just out of this, because again, they have a lot more in the store here. If you just rescued a new puppy, kind of 6 months to a year old, which one are you going to? Which one out of these you're going to pick for your new
it depends
puppy?
on the breed and size because I know I really like the soft one for puppies. I think that's a
Right.
good one, and I really like, yeah. I mean, so if it was a puppy and it was young and it was smaller, I would do that carrot patch.
Okay. Okay.
For sure. I mean, and if I was just starting out, the smart dog or the dog smart one with the bones is a good one, easy one to start with.
Okay. Okay, so that's kind of a good way to
Hmm.
do it, and these will last and all that kind of good stuff. So I like that. All of our toys. I've been wanting to talk about toys here for a long time, so that was pretty good stuff right
Hmm.
there. All of those and more available over at Pet in the City. So that was kind
Yeah.
of good. That was some
Yeah.
kind of some fun stuff right there. I like all of
Yep.
that. I do need to bring George in and get some new toys here because that MacGyver toy it ain't working anymore.
Right.
But so we got
It's
to come in and
time.
do all that kind of
It
stuff.
is time.
It is time. We should do one of
Yeah.
these there in the store. We should come in and
Okay.
just do it there. We should do that.
Let's do
But
it.
hey, we got to get back, kind of like we were saying the last two episodes. We're kind of going down a little more serious path right here. We got to get back to our dog of the week and some friends of
Ah,
yours.
we need a yes
Uh,
home.
it's
We need a home.
dog of the week.
The week.
Dog of the week. It is, and this rhymes. Zeke, the dog of the week. Tell me about Zeke a little bit.
So Zeke came from Animal Care and Control, and Zeke comes from Gilmore Dog Rescue. That was a
Yeah.
mouthful. And Zeke's a great dog. Gets along with dogs. Gets along with cats. Fully updated on shots and neutered. He is very active, but not crazy. I mean, the report on him just seemed perfect. He sounds like
Uh,
the perfect dog.
Says right here, recently ran a 5K, but is also apparently loves to sit next to the office desk and relax. So it sounds like a dog who's kind of like, yeah, okay, let's go, but then is also like, okay, let's sit, which is
Yes, exactly.
it's kind of the perfect dog.
That's
Like
what
it's
I'm
kind of,
saying. It's a
let's go do
perfect dog.
something and then let's take a nice long break. So that's
Yeah.
kind of good. The big thing is with dog and cat friendly, so that's really good. Neutered, all that kind of good stuff. Loves his
Good with
crate, loves the
kids too. Yeah. I mean,
good
that
with
was the whole
kids.
thing. Yep.
The only thing is needs a little work on the leash training while around other dogs, which tell me a dog who doesn't need that. So that's
Exactly.
kind of a thing there. So
Sure.
Zeke again is available from our friends over there where
Gilmore Dog Rescue.
we love the Gilmore people, their treats,
We
all that
do.
kind of good stuff. They're good friends of ours right there. So
They
you
are.
can find out more about the Zeke right there, our dog of the week on the screen. This was kind of a fun one today, episode 7.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
needed a fun one.
I didn't think we were going to make it to 5, and now we're already on 7.
Oh my goodness. We're going all the way.
All the way.
You're
Big
getting
stuff
an
coming up.
Oscar.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe my dog. Great stuff as well. We love getting your questions right here. Make sure you reach us out on the social medias. Big thanks. We are at 100 followers. I think we're gonna pass 100 followers on Instagram this week. So thanks for
Excellent.
that, Tara. As always,
All
my
right.
friend, this is super fun. I gotta bring George in the shop. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.